miss it, and people are waiting, that type of thing. So that's why we have down there cybersecurity, ICT. IT means information technology. ICT means, I believe, information communication technology. So the C is for communication, which has to do with that phone number. So Wes, I give you time to do the video if you could give us an update.
Live stream just went out, so I had to leave.
Oh.
Okay, so I just watching. But yeah, so I understand that the assessor's firewall expired. She went ahead and renewed that. Renewed it with a new firewall subscription. Or I think you're using the same device, correct, Jane?
Right.
So the device hasn't expired yet. But yeah, so going forward, I've been trying, I know it's kind of been a hot topic. Part of it, I know that Hall has been kind of taking up a lot of our time and sort of influencing our decision making in a way. I do think it's very important to have an IT company, but what do we need to get by is another question, I guess. Considering we haven't had much in the past, I don't know how many years, I guess, since the beginning. Granted, I would love to have an IT service just for my own sake also. Maybe they could even help with the live stream and recommend the best software to use or the best hardware to use and whatnot. However, I would like to make a decision that is more, that everyone understands and is on fully on board as far as the trustees, you know, and like a full consensus and have you guys actually understand what's going on, or at least the decisions. You know, I think the biggest topic or biggest question for you guys that I would have would be, would you rather have a company that offers unlimited service, on-call service? So, for instance, because RWK, if you call them, because Ralph has a problem with our, right now, we have a problem with our email, we can call Chris, because he provides it. It's a somewhat free, let's just say, service that he offers. You know, not every website guy has to offer that, but he does. It's a cheap version, right? Yeah, $200 is very non-issue, right? It's very cheap. You can't expect much from it, right? Now, if we did go with RWK and Ralph had an issue getting onto his email, that would be an hourly charge of $200 an hour just to help him with his email problem. That's even if we went to Microsoft, okay? Now, I think the essential thing that we should talk about doing is getting Microsoft, switching over to Microsoft. However, there's many ways we can do that. You know, we can either try and do it ourselves, which I wouldn't recommend, just for the risk of losing any kind of data or emails and all that. It would be nice to have a professional that, or someone that is experienced in migrating to help us do that. Once we get on to Microsoft 365, it would offer, that provides a minimal cybersecurity, at least for our emails and online use. It provides backup because it uses cloud computing, and they're protected, right?
So getting on Microsoft with the cloud, cybersecurity.
That's the most essential thing. That would help, that would solve most of our issues as far as the board and everybody else, right? Jane also uses Microsoft products. It would help encompass that. It give us all the Microsoft products, Word, PowerPoint, whatever else, Excel. And then you also get the backup. You get pay and you get backup, which would be through one cloud. Or if that's a minimal thing, you know, that's only a subscription per, it's like $18 per person, right? Once we get on there, that's very cheap. The migration, that's just a matter of who professionally do we hire to do that, which I'm exploring. I've been trying to get a hold of somebody from Microsoft to see if they offer any kind of help migrating. If they would, that would be ideal, but I doubt it. I think it's usually, it'll probably be a third party that we'll have to look into.
We need to hire someone to do that.
Right. Now, we could just find someone that is experienced and that has a professionalism in migrating. Many IT companies could do it. We could just find an IT company to do that one specific thing, right? Now, that's what both RWK and the other IT services that I contacted suggested was migrate to 365, and that was a big part of RWK's initial cost of $9,000, right?
$9,000 to do.
Not just that, and what other software that they would add. Now, the other companies would essentially also add other backups, like firewall backup, cybersecurity for the devices. Now, that's the thing is, the devices are still exposed in a way, but you got to worry about alerts and assessments. There are alternatives to something that we can get temporarily that we can do on our own, like just give us minimal cybersecurity on the devices. And that's just the cheapest route, because I understand that is, right? I do suggest that if we are going towards a new town hall though, you should get an IT company, and maybe it's something that we just plan on budgeting for in the next budget year, on April. We actually plan for it. I know we're kind of working with what we got, but if we're gonna do it, like I'd like to do it right. I don't wanna, I'd like to figure out how we're moving money around as far as this new build, or this current building and the new building and all that planning, get those bills paid and taken care of, before we just ask the township for more money for an IT, get that entire sold.
So just question, so the assessor's office is super important to have secure. From my understanding, if I heard this correctly, we have a firewall that's been ordered so that the assessor is safe from a cybersecurity,
That's
from
what she
a
said.
virus coming their way, right?
So that protects anybody trying to get into her network.
That seems
It
to be
protects her
the
network.
basic of things we have to have.
Right. Exactly. She's had that for a while now. Jane, did you just ask RWK? Is that what you did? To configure your firewall?
Right,
So RWK is installing the firewall for you?
correct. And not to criticize, but it's a partial protection. It's a protection from someone unknown coming in. But there's all levels of security that still are wide open.
For sure.
Okay, that are still vulnerable right now. So just so you know, that's partial. It's a good protection.
So what went out on the router or whatever?
What?
The
Oh,
firewall
it's
break?
expired.
It was
Just
a
like
subscription.
It's not just the subscription, the device itself is actually expired. They're able to rely, the company's allowing one more year. At that point, I have no choice but to throw it out
So
and start over.
you knew it was expired.
Correct.
When did you know it was expired?
When we started all this contract.
September
Yeah.
17th.
6 months ago?
Oh, I don't know about that, but.
How long did you know, or how long was your subscription for, I guess?
Oh, it was a one-year subscription.
Last year you did 1 year as well?
Correct. Yep.
Well, I mean, the anticipation was, the assessor's office was, counting on us to make a decision as far as what we're doing. You know what I mean? It's been going on for a handful of weeks,
So
so.
I mean, like, when the budget came up, this year came up with the budget.
Well, that was under bill. That was under.
Because, yeah, it
this
wasn't our
administration.
budget, yeah, we got
That was bill.
handed that in a budget.
What building,
Remember, let me
Microsoft, I think, would be essential, just a matter of what, you know, that's what I think we should try and get done by the end of the year. Now, if we go through an IT company, that'll be all included in working with them, you know, but essentially the three options that I would like for you guys to consider is just doing the minimum until next year, next budget item, which the minimum I'm referring to is migrating them to Microsoft 365 and finding a professional to help us migrate. And then by next budget, we budget correctly for whatever a professional IT company would cost.
That's another option.
That's included. I think by next year, we should figure out what kind of IT service we want,
But
right?
the 365 would give us some backup too.
Yes.
So we have backup, we have
Some
white
security,
some
yes.
security.
And then the other one would be, most IT companies, it's just their pricing scheme is different. One is, you know, between the two that I think are the two best options for us because they're local as well, would be our RWK and Unique Computing Solutions. Unique is more, now they offer unlimited support on call and on site. That's included in their cost. Now they are higher cost monthly, but you get that unlimited support.
How much?
It's like $900, not including the subscriptions to any security. That's not including the Microsoft 365.
900 a month for the whole.
Just for the unlimited support. Now that's, no, total. So anyone from the township has an IT issue, you can call them. If it's something with the email, your cybersecurity, your technology, anything, they'll come and help you. As long as I think they said it was 8 hours, as long as it's under that, they don't bill us $500.
Now, I know it seems to me, and maybe this is not correct, it seems to me any problem that we have, because Jane crunches so much data on behalf of the township, that's where the problem could come in at. So, when I spoke to Jane in the past, she, correct me if I'm wrong, Jane, my understanding was you felt that once we had a good setup, we would not need a lot of 24/7 support.
It would
Once
be,
it's,
when I had a good IT company and before, whatever, there's still some challenges, you know, and so forth out there, but for the most part, we were stable.
yeah, so once we get it, like, let's say RWK came in and set it up, or someone else, then you feel you wouldn't need that
Correct. It
constant
would be very,
support.
it would be very.
Very minimal.
It would be,
Okay.
yeah, unusual.
So then I guess it's just a matter of shopping who could help us with the migration of the 365, right? And see,
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is we could just, once we migrate to 365, you know, but I think
and
the idea
you can't
of,
do that. You don't know how to, we don't have the professional expertise.
I'd feel more comfortable doing that than some of that stuff.
Okay.
The only thing is if we're going through with building a new town hall, you would want, I'm just saying by next year,
Yeah.
if we're starting to plan that, they would give us limited consulting as far as, you know, now if we have to have them install any kind of hardware, a firewall, system, network, and all that, then they would charge us on a project just for the install. They can help us figure out what we would need for that new build. And that'd be included.
Is RWK a one-year commitment, or is it more than that?
Well, yeah, that's the thing is once you pay the $90,000, you're gonna wanna stick with them as long as possible. However,
Yeah.
if you want advice on what to do with the new town hall, they're gonna charge you $200 now. If you have an
So are-
issue with anything anything like, say Jane's remote access
Yeah.
from her house goes down, they charge us $200 now.
Right.
And that's for whatever reason. Her internet goes out, in order for them to find out what the internet, it could take 2-3 hours, that's $200.
Are you comfortable, after doing all this investigation, are you comfortable with saying, hey, we got a firewall, let's wait till the fiscal year and
three sixty-five would be, because you might just have 365 and we might be good for it. Yeah. Until we're trying to.
So is RWK saying, hey, if I'm just gonna do the 365, I don't need to charge 9,000, I'll charge something less just to migrate to 365, is that even an option?
So the $9,000 comes out to 45 hours worth of work that they were going to do. Now, I don't know how much of that would be migrating us. I try to get more granular, what that $9,000 worth, it's, but, yeah,
And,
it's hard to get that.
could you just ask them, just say, if you just help us with the migration of 365, what would you charge? Let's just see if he'll even do that. Probably, if he does it, it would probably be less than 9,000, because all that 9,000 includes all those other nice features. Yeah, software and stuff, yeah. So see if we can get a price from him just to do the migration, and then let him know that we'll use him if something, if we need service, obviously he'd be the company we would call at that point. That would be a nice compromise, maybe, instead of trying to write off 9,000 this year. Okay. All right, well, if you would please do that, and then we'll have an answer probably for October's meeting, if he's willing to do something like that.
Who generates most of the information? I
I'd
mean,
say
that's
between,
sensitive information.
yeah, I'd say assessors, that kind of biggest
So what's the split of the other?
not compared, nothing compared to
Well, with the 365 though, Ralph, the clerks would be able to, the clerk's email would also be backed up. And her information would be backed up into the cloud, so that would be a good thing as far as getting it, losing it.
That's why if we had 365, we wouldn't have to worry about perpetuity going down
Yeah.
because it'd be backed up.
Yeah, so she'd be pretty covered. The real sensitive information is the assessment. That's the big,
She has her own internet network.
yeah,
That's what the file is.
that's the fire.
So how's it work on the assessor? Somebody comes to you, gives you their social security number, you write it down in a form. Do you file that form or do you send it to county?
I send it to county, we have an upload, procedure that we send in, and that gets sent in, and then the file in my office eventually gets destroyed.
So it does get
Manual copy.
destroyed.
Pardon me?
It does get destroyed,
The manual copy, correct.
like shredded, good shredded.
Yes.
I mean, the only reason I'm asking is, yeah, I'm not gonna say that, it's just,
Okay.
it's a sensitive.
Yeah, sensitive information. All right, so, the good news is we got the firewall. That was very nerve-wracking for the last 48 hours or 72, whatever it was. And you took care of that, that's a good thing. So at least we got that covered.
And on that note, you sent, this email went to, I got a copy, went to you and, no, how come it didn't go to me? To us.
Oh, eventually, we forwarded it.
Oh,
Yeah, I forwarded it to Wes. Okay. I'd like to quickly, under new business, I'd like to just quickly update you guys regarding the financial reports. Again, being new at this, we want to continually improve, right? We want to continue to improve. So the financial reports that we're going to be looking at to approve moving forward is 3 parts to it. And you see on your agenda, it says financial reports. We want them to be professional. We want them to obviously be full of integrity. Obviously, we're not cooking the books. We don't want to hide things. We don't want, we want everything to be clear so that the public or anybody looking at it says, yes, this is easy to read. We understand it. It's full of integrity and it's transparent. Those are, by the way, those are 3 of our 4 core values. The other core value sending you guys as the treasurer, I'll be sending you a budget to actual report. Melissa, our accountant, we finally turned the corner. Things are uploaded into QuickBooks. She's still working on the previous months that when our current program crashed, we couldn't open it. She's manually bringing things over into QuickBooks. But we're at a point where we're, I hope in the next 2 weeks, I don't want to guarantee, but we should have a really good budget to actual report. What that is, it says, here's our budget with the line items. Every line item will have a number to it. It'll show what the actual is, what we spent to date. And then the third column is the remaining amount of money that we have left. Really important for us to know as we look at our, try to work within our budget. We got clapping from the residents. Okay, so that's happening. The second part to it that I'll be sending everybody is a voucher report, which we have already. It'll be formatted a little bit differently. We want to see the beginning balance and the ending balance, and then all the checks. Vouchers mean checks, essentially. They're just checks that show what we wrote checks to, who we wrote them to, what they were for in the little memo. But the third thing that we're going to include is the invoices. There is anywhere from 20 to 60 invoices a month that come through the road district and the township. So I asked Jim, and he left. I'm sure he'll be fine with it. What I want to do is I want to get all the invoices at the end of the month. I literally have a basket next to my desk. Some come through email, some come through the mail, that type of thing. I want to print them all out, and I want to scan them all as one PDF file for the township. So there may be 20, there may be 30. Don't suggest that you guys print them out. When I send it to you, you're going to have the ability to look at every single invoice that we wrote a check for that month. And so when it's all said and done, we'll have really 3 PDF files, 3 reports, and that would constitute the financial report that we're voting on every month. The awesome thing about this, like I said, it'll be professional, it'll have integrity, and it'll be very transparent with adding these invoices. Because even Monroe was asking me a few months ago, he says, hey, Pete, this check here, I see what we wrote it to, but what did we write it for? It doesn't really say much. Well, we're going to see the invoice, and we should. And if anyone in the community would want to see something like that, it'll be available, because what I'm going to do is I'll have these 3, I'll email them to you guys at the end of the month for you to look at them. I'm going to also email them to our FOIA officer, Belinda, because she's going to keep a file on it. So if the FOIA request comes in, hey, I want to see month May, June, July, we're not scrambling around like crazy people trying to find all this information. It should be available. So she'll have it available as well. And we could just email it to the resident, and it'll be really good. It's the way to go moving forward. And then I'm going to also email it to Chrissy as the clerk, because she's the official record keeper of the township. And then I'm going to keep a copy of it. So we're going to have like 3 copies on a monthly. I already started the system on my computer, and it's very organized, and I'm pretty excited about it. There was a resident that I talked to about it that gave some advice on it, which I thought was really good, and I agree with it. I mean, it should be the way we do it. So that's it. I was going to have some examples for you, but we're still working on tightening it up with the accountant a little bit on it, so we'll go from there. Any questions on that? Yeah, we're all in the dark. Yeah. And then what happened, like I said, when that program didn't open, that really moved us up. Now, we did have a financial report to approve, but it was limited. It was the voucher report. And then I sent you guys the bank statements as well. So you could, it just was cumbersome. It was the same information, but it was cumbersome because you had to connect all the dots and really study it to figure out what went where. Well, this way, it should be pretty self-explanatory. There's some ACH payments, meaning they're automatic payments like the ComEd and NICOR and that should say ACH next to that voucher check. So again, you should be able to take the invoices, match it up to the checks that are written, and have a real complete full picture, as well as the line item numbers on remaining balances. Under other, I do want, and you guys are aware of this, but for the public record, Sarah, our trustee Sarah, officially resigned because of her health. She felt that it would be to the best interest of our community for her to resign. So what the board has to do next is appoint a new trustee. And we could do that as quickly as we can, but no later than the November board meeting. We have to appoint somebody from the statute standpoint. We have 60 days. So she resigned on September 16th. We have until November 15th. Our meeting is on November 10th. So there have been a couple people that have already said that they were potentially interested in that. So we'll start communicating about that. Set up an interview with one person that I texted. I'll set up an interview, and then we have to choose somebody for that position. Any questions regarding that? So if you want to think through that a little bit, and we'll be voting on that as a board. Okay? All right, so that's all I had on the agenda. If you guys have something else you'd like to bring up, please do. Otherwise, we'll open up for public comment. Good? Okay, public comment. Yes, Jane.
First of all, are you posting the opening for the trustee anywhere?
No, we're not advertising for it. This is not it's not a resident vote type of mentality. The statute is that the board appoints
I
the
understand, but
trustee.
what if there's people out there that may be interested that aren't aware that she resigned?
Who are you guys thinking on? So yeah, we have a few people already in mind that we feel would be good trustees. So it's our responsibility to appoint somebody. We're not.
So you don't want to have, you don't
Well,
want to.
by statute, we're not required to advertise for it and to say, hey, if you're interested, let us know, and set up 10 interviews, 20 interviews, 50 interviews. We don't. It's not something that works like that. It's an appointment. So we have, like I said, we do have a few people already that we feel real good about having as a trustee. Sorry. Yeah, it's gotta be a Republican because she's a
I didn't hear
Republican.
you.
Ralph just said it needs to be a Republican.
We need a Republican. Oh, that's your word.
All right?
That's your word, girl.
That's you, what?
Very good.
Oh, Verb. Yeah. Well, I mean, it has to be by statute.
Well, I
it
know
has to
that,
be,
but
yeah.
to make it comment like that is inappropriate. Every month he's got another comment. I'm gonna go on the record. Every month this guy's got a comment directed at me. Not professional, one of your core values.
Well, I hope it's not my core value only. And
Well, it is yours, I mean.
I hope it's our community's core value.
Well,
That's what we voted on. So,
Unfortunately, here it is. You
yeah,
should be directing the public directly with all professional comments every month.
all right, thank you. All right, so, yeah, the trustee, please start thinking about that, and I'm gonna set up an interview. Ralph and I are gonna interview somebody. What's kind of crazy about this is we can't interview somebody more than 2 of us because of open meeting. So we talk individually. Ralph and I already talked about meeting somebody that did come to us and say that they'd be interested in being a trustee. So if someone does come to us, you know, we're gonna address it. But I don't know that we're gonna advertise it. I don't know. Let me think about that a little bit, and we can think about it. I don't know. What do you think about that? I don't. You know, I'll just give you my personal opinion. People that come to the meeting or that are involved on committees, in my in trustee responsibilities. So to advertise it, let's say on Facebook or something like that, and we get someone that hasn't been to a meeting in 3.5 years, I'm not that interested in thinking through appointing a person like that. Not that they're bad people, it's just that they haven't been around, they don't, they're not involved. It's important to be involved if you want to do something like that. I mean, you guys that are here today, you're involved. So that's my opinion on what should be
Well,
done.
on the flip side of that, though, we've brought on a lot of new people over the years, throughout the years, without them previously being necessarily head leaders. Okay, so
I'm
we
just
haven't
giving you my
always
feel on it,
chosen from those that have attended meetings.
Yeah.
I just thought if there was somebody out there, that's all, that maybe not aware, that's all. Different question, may I?
Yes.
Is that okay? Did we pay the 26,000 already for the, 10-page land comprehensive plan?
Not completely, we still owe a balance on it. As they progress in their work, they send invoices.
Okay, and this is, because it was my understanding clearly, I was told very clearly, this is an addendum to the current comprehensive plan. So like when you were discussing certain criteria, there is certain criteria already in the comprehensive plan. So unless they change that, the original comprehensive plan stands, correct?
Yes, that is correct. And
Okay.
my suggestion was once we get done with this land use, which is an extension of that comprehensive plan, that we kind of put it all together and make one document, a sound, solid document. And if we need to revise the current comprehensive plan.
Because something like what you were talking about, with open space and minimum land, acreage on rural, that's all addressed already in the comprehensive plan. So,
I'm not sure why it wouldn't be in this one then, you know what I
that's
mean?
what concerns me.
It should be consistent then. So that's good though, I'm glad you brought that up. So, yeah, we want one document that we could all stand behind. Anything else?
Just that, okay, oh, I on the side, okay. I guess that. Oh, I know, sorry, you're all the way. Have we looked at other communities that, Ralph brought up, or somebody brought up, I apologize, like having a designated area for solar, you might brought up, Dee. Have we looked at other communities that have solar, have they done that? That have comprehensive plans? Or if we haven't done that, would we consider one industrial type area, like Frankfurt has off of Center, down there where like we, come in off of maybe Grange, but then go in and have one whole area that's either agreeable to be either, whether it's solar, industrial, whatever, commercial, and have that all in one area, centralized.
Yeah, well, to answer your question, I don't know that we've done your first part of your question. Yeah, I don't think we have. We'll talk to Mark about it, but I think it's a great idea. And I also agree that try to not have these areas that go from, one end of our township to the other, have some designated areas like that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
And that's what I want to bring up to Mark, and then when we have the resident meeting, when he has it, you could bring that up again and talk about that. We don't want to rush this either, just like we didn't want to rush other things that we make decisions on. I mean, this is a big deal, because it's gonna affect us in the near future and in the far future. So we want to do it right.
And what does the agreement say that they're doing? What's the company again? It's the church? Houston. What did that actual contract state that they're, other than making us a map and giving us recommendations? I mean, I know they can't make us any guarantees whatsoever that this is gonna help or prevent anything, so what else are they technically?
Here's what it says, I could read it. In the introduction, it says the future land use map outlines a strategic framework for how land within Green Garden Township is intended to develop and be preserved over time. It assigns general land use categories to each parcel, reflecting the township's long-term vision. As an extension of the township's comprehensive land use plan, it offers guidance for development, review, zoning amendments, and land use decisions.
Okay, so it's basically the same as the comprehensive plan. It doesn't, we can't hold anyone to it, but hopefully the locality will honor it and give us credit for it.
Yeah.
For consideration.
Yeah, just like we got complimented a year or so ago, I remember, by the county, because we at least had a comprehensive plan.
Okay.
We had some kind of a plan.
Well,
That's why I think we
I
should,
just wanted to know what we're paid for.
yeah, we should, yeah, and it's paid for already, it's committed to. So now we want to just, you know, and I appreciate again, the committee's working hard to get it right now. So we already committed to the dollar amount, let's get it right, let's tighten it up and vote on it, and, it could be a useful plan. But I would love to see the solar in a certain area, as well as what you said, commercial, industrial, that type of thing. So we'll talk about